Teroson webinar. We'll be looking at plastic repair for body shop professionals. Our presenters today, standing next to me, are Julian Pateman and Barry Lewis. They're experienced Teroson sales engineers. So, tips for today's call. You can use the chat to write any questions, and we'll have a short Q&A session at the end. And for any further information, there's a link in the chat, so you can fill that in for us to get in contact with you. There's also an opportunity to download catalogue, TDS, SDS, and get any additional information, or sign up for an in-person training. So, what are we looking at today? We'll have a short introduction. We'll then introduce plastic repair. We'll have time for a live demonstration. We'll discuss the health and safety benefits of the Teroson solution, and then we'll have a Q&A at the end. So, Julian, I'll hand over to you.
Thank you very much, George. Morning, Barry.
Morning, Jules.
Good morning, all. Thanks very much for attending this morning. Can see there's plenty of attendees. That's fantastic. We do really appreciate your time. You may have seen our webinar back in the last year. I think it was October, November. Lee Goff and myself did the seam sealing, spray sealing. And again, this room, this is a big change from last time. And again, it's work in progress. I don't know about you, Barry, but there's cameras everywhere. I can count about 6 cameras. There's lights.
Like being in the studio.
We've had hair and makeup this morning. It's I think we're all ready to go.
Yeah.
Little tip, Baz, there's a couple of TV presenters just about to part company. If we get this right, it could be our next gig. Yeah. Hold tight. So let's start. This first slide represents where we are currently. We're going to be at the Automechanica in June, and we have a car shell that we had last year, but we've done some more effects with it this time round. And colleague of ours, Lee Goff, has actually painted the vehicle to represent these 3 colour stages: red, rebuild; yellow, replace; and blue, today's subject, is repair.
Yeah.
Now, back in October, November, when Lee and I did the sprayable seam sealer, that came into the rebuild section with the modified silanes chemistry. And that proved to be successful. We got a hell of a lot of sales leads from that, which was great. And that's been a very good way forward. Hence, we're doing this one today.
Yeah.
The replace section in yellow, that represents, again, a different technology. That's the epoxies. So the 5055, 5065 for the structural repair of the car. Panel bonding, yeah. And then the blue section today, and again, you can see the vehicle there, and you can see the particular areas of plastic repair and where we fit the market. So again, this colour scheme will replicate through the vehicle when we're at Automechanica, and we'll be covering all these subjects. So hopefully some of the audience that are here today may well be visiting at Automechanica. Please come and give us a shout.
Come to
us to the stand, and we can discuss this in further detail. Okay, so where do we start? Barry, your first company car, I believe. Well, this is just representing really the evolution in cars. Yes, this is a VW Beetle, as we all know. It's been around a long time. But this goes for all car manufacturers, and all car manufacturing has changed massively over the generations. You can see there with the early 1930s, 40s vehicle, you can see it's full of steel. It's got the old bull bar and metal grills, even metal around the headlamps.
Very little plastic.
Very little plastic. For its time, you know, let's be honest, the car hasn't changed shape a great deal, but for its time, it represented, you know, it was best in practice.
Yeah.
We've moved on a hell of a lot now in this generation. Moving across to the yellow vehicle at the end, there's a hell of a lot of plastic in there. 2 or 3 reasons, really. The car is safer, certainly dramatically a lot safer.
Yeah.
There's parking sensors in the bumpers, rear and front parking sensors. There's no fender like there was on the old vehicle. It's all plastic. You can even see down the door trim, there's a great big length of plastic as well. So cosmetic, it looks a lot smarter.
Yeah.
But from a safety point of view, a lot smarter. And from car manufacturing point of view, car manufacturers are looking at obviously reducing the weight of the vehicle the best they can. So that it's obviously going to be a lot more economical to run, a lot cheaper to manufacture, and a lot better for the environment. Ideally, that's where we're heading.
Yeah.
So that's the big changes in progress there. And this is where Henkel as a manufacturer play a massive part in actually putting these cars back together after repair. Okay, so again, this is a couple of photos that I've taken on my travels. Yeah, I've taken, just a couple of photos. I'm not going to tell you where, but I think, Barry, tell me if I'm wrong, that generally represents most crash repair centres that we visit.
They've generally got to skip through them, isn't it?
Yeah. And I'm not here today, I'm not doing a David Attenborough, I'm not lecturing anybody, but I think from an Henkel point of view, we can certainly help reduce that pile of plastics.
And it says wasted opportunities, isn't it?
Wasted opportunities. We can, there's a lot of plastics there. I hope on this webinar today, I hope that we've got a lot of estimators in the audience, because this is key. It's an estimator's dream. If we can get a lot of these bumpers repaired rather than replaced, again, it's bringing labour and opportunity back to the body shop. So that's the idea of this morning. Okay, so practical examples of where these repairs are on a particular vehicle. Again, you see the car there, you see it colour coded with the blue. Exteriors and interiors. Exteriors, typical bumpers, spoilers, bonnets, tailgates, boot lids, roofs, doors, side panels, etc. Yeah, and then interiors, lugs and clips on coverings, on pillars, for example. I mean, how many times do we go into a body shop and they're stripping carpets out of these things all the time, roof linings, and a panel beater painter might just break a clip off, and they've got to replace that.
Yeah.
You know, yes, they can order a part, but how things to get these days. So it's a lot easier if there's a system in place just to repair rather than replace. And again, most of these plastics that we come across in cars manufactured, typical plastic types, PP, EPDM, ABS, GRP, and PUR polyurethanes. So that's generally that's where we're at.
So why repair?
Well, my question back to you, Barry, why not?
Exactly. So you don't have to replace things if you can repair them. So why repair? Obviously, as you can see on the slide, it can be, in some instances, cheaper to repair a bumper than order a new one. It's more sustainable, better for the environment, reduce your pile of bumpers that's outside the back of your body shop.
Yeah.
It's definitely always faster, especially as you've already said. Trying to get parts today is the biggest headache for a lot of body shops.
How many bloody parts managers are just banging their head against the wall, trying to get just waiting for parts to arrive.
If you can repair something, it's faster, it improves the key to key times, i.e. the car's maybe not in your body shop as long. So hence why courtesy cars, you mentioned that the other day there, how many courtesy cars are out there?
Yeah.
That reduces the time they're out there, gets them back in. And you're using the original part, so it basically looks the same as the original.
Well, not only that, a lot of if it's not an OEM part, quite often a lot of the aftermarket parts aren't exactly a great fit.
Yeah. So
body shops are ordering parts that don't necessarily fit like original. So again, if we can keep original and get a repair in place, it's a win for everyone.
So there is a couple of do's and there's a couple of don'ts. So do's, you can repair bumpers, lugs, spoilers, boot lids, as we said, and especially even not just on cars, motorcycles. You've got your fairings, your plastic fairings, everything like that. There's loads of them can be repaired as well. There are a couple of don't do's. So we don't recommend headlamp lenses and radiator grills to be repaired, and also brake fluid containers and fuel tanks are prohibited from being repaired.
Pretty obvious, but again, it needs pointing out, yes, you know, it's general industry standard, isn't it? That's, you were not preparing those.
So what's in the system? So our system is the Teroson PU 9225. That is our plastic repair adhesive system. And we have a few different speed products in that. So we have the standard one, which is this 9225.
This product.
We have the 9225 SF, which is the super fast. And we have the 9225 UF, which is ultra fast. We also have ME version in the SF and the UF.
Whoa. We're complicating things now. What on earth's ME?
So
Where
ME,
are we going now?
ME is basically micro emissions. So there is less emissions from those products. So it's better for the user. There's less isocyanates in products. It's better for the environment.
Safer.
Safer for the
Yeah,
environment.
yeah.
So that's the adhesives. We also have a cleaner. And we also have a adhesion promoter. And we've also got a fibre mesh, which we use to bridge gaps in the back of the bumper and reinforce it.
Which are
Julian is showing you now.
That'll be this spelling.
Yeah.
Really strong.
Yeah.
Again, what I love about this, we're not putting any metal back in
No,
the plastic.
no
It's
metal.
just this. It's just this.
Yep.
No staples,
No.
no rivets, no screws. Just
Just
this. So it's nice and yeah.
Okay, so on the product range, we briefly sort of mentioned them. We'll just sort of briefly go through them. So we've got the 9225. So that's our slowest of the products. So that product, basically you get like sort of 7 to 10 minute working time with that product, and that will fill cracks anything bigger than splits and bumpers. They're bigger than 7 centimeters.
Yeah. And we're going to show some examples of
We will,
the
yes.
different sizes and what we can repair with different.
So then we've got the SF, which is a super fast. So that both the 9225 and the 9225 SF are available in 50ml cartridges and 250ml cartridges. The benefit of the 250ml cartridge, it just goes in a normal.
That's this one.
That's that one. It just goes in a normal caulking gun.
So again, it's just a two component.
Yeah,
Right?
two.
Like the panel adhesive.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
So your SF is for cracks and splits smaller than 7 centimeters. You've got a lot less working time. So that product, you can sand that product within probably 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. But then, as we already mentioned, we've got the ME product again, health and safety version.
Yeah.
And then we've got the UF, which is the ultra fast product. So that product that's too fast for doing splits and holes and bumpers. What that product is used for? That product is used for making clips. Say you break a clip on a bumper or on the back of a trim. That product is used there, and we can just show you a little example of what we've made up here. We can just zoom in. So what we've done there is we've actually made a 90-degree bit there. So if that was part of the bumper, you could then make the clip for that there. And also, if this was the edge of a lug, you can make the edge of the lug. You can then sand that to shape. You can drill through it.
Yeah.
And you're repairing replacing the lug instead of replacing the bumper.
You're making a new part. You're making a new part, a bracket or whatever you can make.
Yep.
Yeah.
So obviously we've got the adhesives, but you need we've mentioned them already, but you do need, we'll just briefly go through the other products. So you've got the Teroson VR10 cleaner. So this is our universal cleaner. So whether you are replacing glass in a vehicle, panel bonding, or even using our sealers to replicate the OEM beads, this is our cleaner, and obviously as well as plastic repair. It's also amazing for if you're struggling to get double-sided tape or moldings to stick. You can wipe it on, it flashes off in minutes and leaves you a totally clean surface to stick the products to.
We appreciate everybody in body shop uses panel wipe, generally, but panel wipe has its place.
Yeah.
But this, for surface preparation for our adhesives, this is always the go-to.
Definitely.
And this is a process that they need to work to, Barry.
That's why
We don't want you missing a process out. We need you to use all the components, yeah?
So the magic
Very
magic dust or fairy dust,
Very dust.
we'll call it fairy dust, is the Teroson 150 primer. So we've used, as Julian said, use the process, the cleaner adhesion promoter. That's what allows the 9225 product range to stick to all plastics. And we've also got the mesh that Julian already demonstrated.
And this is, this comes in a meter
Comes in a meter length, yeah.
meter length, yeah. So you just cut this accordingly to
The
the
size.
size of your repair, and away you go.
But on this slide, there's a lot of detail on this slide. It's basically just taking you through each product, where it can be used, best applications, and it gives you the working time and the sandable time as well on that slide. So advantages, just again, briefly going over what we've already probably mentioned, and using the Teroson plastic repair system, there's many advantages. Obviously, it's efficient, it's smart, it's easy to use. Anybody can use it. The apprentice can be doing these things. You don't have to be highly trained technician to use it. It's OEM specified by many manufacturers. So, and also it can be used for splits, holes, scratches, anything like that. And also we've got the range of products with the different speeds so that you can repair all these different sizes of damage.
What I like about it, Barry, I mean, it fits every workshop,
Yeah.
every body shop.
Yeah.
Gone are the days. Do you remember you used to have a plastic cup, fill it with water?
Yep.
Splice a little bit of plastic off, drop it in the cup, see if it sinks or floats. That then determines what polyurethane you use to do the repair. All that. This system fits all. So whatever you've got coming through your body shop, 99% of plastics, bumpers and trim can be repaired with this system.
That's it. And the big thing is obviously we've got the health and safety products that are coming through, which is becoming more and more important.
More of the micro emissions are coming along the process, aren't they? Are coming along.
Yep. So getting into the system a little bit more, surface preparation is the first stage, and that's key. As Julian said, use the system and you should not come unstuck, shall we say, for the want of a better word. You've got the primer application, you then repair the damage, and then you finish it off.
Yeah.
For that there. So we have got some examples to show you. Excuse me, I'll just pick this up. So this is a bumper that we've done demonstration on, and we've just taken it through the different stages so that you can see it, because seeing is obviously probably better than us trying to explain it. So what we've got here, you've got the damage on the bumper here. The first stage is on the split. We've marked there on the circles just for to show you. We would drill the end of the split, and what that does is that stops the split from then spreading any further. We then, with a DA sander, we DA that back.
Reference to that, Barry, what sort of abrasive do you want to be hitting this plastic with? Because I have, again, we visit these body shops, a lot of guys are hitting this with like 80 grit, and they ruin the plastic before they start the repair. So where do you think we should be on abrasives?
Well, maximum
soft plastic.
120, maximum 120 grit.
Yeah,
absolutely. And you can then obviously finishing off, you go to your finer grit products and things like that.
Sure.
So we've cleaned this. We'll then DA it back to the bare plastic, and don't be scared. As you can see on this bit there, you've got the damage there. Don't be scared to open the damage up a bit, rather than, especially if it's a neat crack. Don't be scared to open it up, open the split up, so that you get material going front to back. And then what we've done is we also on the front there, we V-groove the front. So what that does is it makes the edge like that. So it spreads the material out, gives you a lot neater finish and spreads the.
Well, it's a bigger surface contact area as well, isn't it? Rather than having a sharp edge, you've got a better surface contact area for the adhesive to hold to.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
So we've done that, we've cleaned it off, we've went through this process, we then clean it on there, we've done the same on the inside, we've keyed it on the inside, but you only V-groove on the outside. We've cleaned it on the inside, we've DA'd it back. We then come to the magic fairy dust, as Julian called it. So your Teroson 150 primer, you give both front and inside a light dust coating of that. Don't put too much on, it would just takes a very long time to dry if you do, and it doesn't give you any benefit. You only need a dusting.
I think we need to explain about it at this point. We can't actually do a hands-on demonstration with sanders and grinders. We're not in a workshop environment here. We're in a classroom environment.
Yeah.
So we can't be having dust flying about here, there, and everywhere with all this equipment.
Yeah.
But this is what we would do
In a
body shop.
Yeah.
We would demonstrate it right through the process.
So your Teroson 150 primer, that'll take about sort of 10-15 minutes to dry, and you're better leaving it to dry naturally rather than force drying it. You get a lot better adhesion, and again, you stick to the process. We then, on the inside first, we take our material, the adhesive, we would pump it around the split there. We then take the mesh, and we will show you a little demonstration on this in a little while. We take the mesh, you place the mesh over your adhesive, you then take a spreader, push your mesh into the adhesive so that it'll look like that part of what we've already done there. Then you then cover over the rest of your mesh with the adhesive, and then if space is critical, you can then spread it out to make it go there, and that gives
point to note as well there, Barry. We're on the reverse side of
Yes.
the bumper. So this is where we're adding structure and strength to the bumper. We're not after a cosmetic finish.
No.
Cosmetic finished on the front side,
Yeah.
the side that everybody sees. We appreciate we've got to fit this bumper back, so it can't be 2 inches thick. But
No.
we've put the matting on, we've put the adhesive on, we've put the structure, we've put plastic back into plastic.
Yeah.
We're building the strength of the repair.
Yeah.
That's what that's all about.
So then obviously you then turn it over, so you'll end up where you can see the mesh through there. So you spend a bit more time on the front side. Keep your nozzle in the hole, pump it in with the material, and keep your nozzle in material. And the reason for that is that then you don't get any air bubbles in that. So when you do sand it, you've got less rework that you maybe to refill and do it. Fill that. When you fill it, spread it from the inside out, because then that leaves the center slightly raised. So when you sand it down, you end up with a nice, neat finish like that there.
And again, what are you hitting that with? 120 grit?
Yeah, but then you move up to 180.
120, yeah. But to me, you're getting a very good finish. This sands like a body filler. It sands really nicely, really easily. No pinholes. You get a nice finish there. You're just putting a very fine skim of plastic filler in there if required afterwards.
Definitely.
Before paint. Yeah.
So obviously that's on a split on there. You can do other.
So again, another example here. We talked about which adhesive we're going to select. This is clearly a larger hole. This would require the 9225, the slow curing filler. Again, you're gonna get yourself in a mess if you go with the fast adhesive. So it's the slow 9225. Again, exactly the same process. So we've got the matting at the back, and then moving that process along. Exactly the same. You'd let that cure, or you put an infrared lamp on it if you want to speed it up, and then again fill the front and abrade to finish. Okay, but again, it's just making the right selection of adhesive depending on the size of the repair.
Yes.
And that's critical. Otherwise, you will get yourself in a mess.
Yep. So now what we're going to do is, as we mentioned, we're we're going to do a little demonstration, so while we just get this bumper back up. So we're just going to show you how to put the cartridge into the gun and then put the nozzle on and put the matting onto the back of the bumper. So I think we'll have 9225 SF for this one, Jules.
That's your preferred choice.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's it. Yeah, so we've got 9225 SF. So we put this into the cartridge gun. We then take the end off. Hold on, before you put the nozzle on, with any 2-pack product, before you put the nozzle on, just pump a little bit out. As you can see there, it come out a little bit uneven.
The black came out before the brown.
Yes, it did.
You-
So what you've done there is you've equalised the mixing ratio for the cartridge. We then put the nozzle on. And then again, as with any 2-pack product, just pump it out. And just disregard the sort of first edge. And you can see you've got a uniform colour, so you know that the mixing ratio is right. So we've already cleaned and put the adhesion promoter on this. So as we said, we just pump product all the way around. Then get the mesh, place the mesh on top. We then, with a spreader, we just push that through, making sure that the mesh is impregnated with the adhesive. We then, with the adhesive again,
Remember, no metal gone back into this
Yeah.
repair. Nothing that's going to cause serious injury on impact. This is just a reinforcing mesh and plastic
so with
adhesive.
your spreader, you can then spread out your repair. People will be a bit mesh there, but never
Great, simple.
So then literally, that's the inside done. Just. And then you would go through your processes with the other stages. Just move that out of the way.
Brilliant, Barry. Great. That.
Yep.
Do you just want to, whilst
Yep.
we're at it as well, again, it's not just bumpers, as we've talked about. This is an example of a wing mirror. Again, our colleague Lee Goff has painted this nicely. We've got a repair on here. This is just the same. Again, like fairings, very thin plastics can be repaired like this. This is a great repair. Very smooth, very easy to do. And again, it's just use the matting, just like Barry's shown you there. It's got a thin slice of matting on the bike. And again, very neat and easy to look at. And again, the application on this side, very smooth. You get a very good finish. In fact, that's had no filler in it yet.
Yeah.
It barely needs any, and it's ready to go. So that's just another example.
Yep. So that's all the adhesives, is it, Jim?
That's all the polyurethanes.
All right.
In relation to polyurethanes, but we've not finished there, Barry, because again, it's smart repair. We've got other bits and pieces that we want to talk about.
Okay.
And again, people may well have seen this, but we want to go over a couple of products. That is the Loctite 3090. So we've talked about polyurethanes here, different chemistry now. We're now going to 3090. This is a cyanacrylate, okay, which layman's terms, super glue.
All right, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so a general single component super glue, you just bond surface to surface, instant bond.
You've got to.
Within seconds, you've got an instant strong bond.
Yeah.
The great thing with this, and the reason it's quite unique, is this is actually a two component cyanacrylate.
Okay.
With the advantage that it has a gap fill of up to 5 mil. So again, fits the aftermarket, again, fits
Yeah.
most markets, fits truck, bus,
Yeah.
motorbikes, cars, you name it.
Shops.
Yeah, this,
You need a gun for that then?
no, all you get with this in the box,
Yeah.
complete in the box, you get a little plunger that sits up the back of the cartridge there,
That's good.
and then you get 7 mixing nozzles in the box. And again, if you run short of these, you can get these through any good distribution point. These are available in packs of 10.
That was going to be my next question.
I knew that, I just beat you to it. So again, we'll just do a quick demonstration here on how good this is. Again, typical example here, certainly in the crash repair market, we've seen this
I
used.
was going to say, I've seen this.
We've seen this used all over the place.
Yeah.
I've seen it particularly on things like even real light clusters where there's a slight little nick that you don't need to replace the lamp, but you can just put a little bit of adhesive in. You can plug the adhesive. So this here, just take the top off. Nozzle on there. And again, what we're going to do, we've got 2 pieces of acrylic here. I'm just going to literally start it off.
So again, like what we did with all the cat.
Absolutely, yeah,
come on.
that's right about it. So then I'm just going to put a line down here. Now again, this is just a T-joint on a piece of acrylic. Just hold that together for a couple of seconds. And as well as that, then we can use it as a structural adhesive, and we can stick a fillet in either side. So again, it has a multitude of uses, this adhesive. It's a fantastic product. Again, wherever we sell this, once people have used it, they just continue to buy it. It's brilliant. And again,
That looks really good, that does.
we've got a couple of videos that we're going to play.
Yeah.
So we're going to give that probably 5 minutes, and then I'm going to ask you to try and do your best and do some damage to it, Barry.
All right, okay.
Okay. But that's that. That's the 3090. Again, fantastic. And
Yeah.
again, you can use it anywhere.
Yeah.
I've even seen painters on bonnets where they've got 1 or 2 fish eyes in the paint. And rather than start again, they'll just literally plug this into the little holes, flat it off,
Yeah.
and carry on.
Bet Lisa to do that a few
I'm
times.
sure he has. Yeah, I'm sure he has. I'm looking at his paintwork now. I'm sure he has.
Yeah.
But yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Very useful. Again, multitude of sins this will cover. All sorts of things. Lokes, general.
I'm sure have I seen that on parking sensors or something, have I?
Well, absolutely. We do actually supply this through a manufacturer. I can't mention that manufacturer, but I'm sure if there's anybody watching, they may well have seen this supplied in kit format.
Yeah.
That's this adhesive with the Loctite SF770.
Oh,
And
that's the primer, isn't it?
This is a primer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the primer, you use the primer. All you're doing there, you're just changing the surface energy. Now, if you've got a plastic that's a little bit silky, a little bit too difficult to handle,
Yeah.
then you use this bottle.
Yeah.
And this comes with a little. You'll have seen this before, Barry. I'm sure you've used this kind of thing when you're brushing your nails on a Saturday night.
Only the
Yeah.
weekends.
So again, typical example here. We've got a parking sensor bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, you would just brush this surface. And you can see how quick that flashes off.
Yeah.
You'd leave that 5 minutes before bonding with the 3090.
So how long the 3090 then? How long does it take to grab?
Initially, I mean, that's grabbed now.
All right, yeah.
That's absolutely fine now. But again,
If you're putting any stress on it.
if you want to leave that at least 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
5 or 10 minutes. Yeah. But after that time, remember, full strength 24 hours.
Yeah.
But if you want something that you just literally fasten and clip together,
Mhm.
or something that's really fast and easy to, then,
Right,
but again, the secret with that is it's transparent.
yeah,
So again, covers a multitude of sins.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll pass you that.
Yeah.
When we play this video. and you-
once we've seen the video.
Absolutely, yeah. So again, we're just going to play a video now. This is obviously more workshop orientated. You'll see the sanding in place. You'll see the belt sander.
Yeah.
You'll see the tools that are required. Other than that, this is a repair And I think I'm right in saying it's 9225, is it the SF?
That's it,
being used?
yeah.
So again,
So that's why the colour looks slightly different on the.
yes, yeah,
So they've removed the old bumper, they're now going to go through the preparation stage. So she's already cleaned that.
Yeah.
And now she's sanding it back to bare plastic. And as I said, drill the ends of the split, and that just stops it spreading any further. And there's your V groove going in and opening up the split.
Yeah.
So that you can get material front to back.
again, you don't want to be going at it too aggressively with a belt sander because you're just going to wreck that plastic. You can see she's just gently putting a V together there, yeah?
Definitely, yeah. So she's just finishing it off, taking any of the loose plastic that's from her V groove in, and then she's then going to clean it with a VR10. And if you notice, she's only wiping
In
one way,
one
direction.
Yeah, yeah.
She's done that on the inside as well, and you can see how quick that flashes off as well. And she's just going to give the inside a key.
So again, now the mesh.
Yeah. And
She'll
then
just-
the whole mesh.
She'll just trim the mesh to suit the size of the gap that she's filling. Offer it up like you did yourself, Barry,
Yeah,
there,
just make
just a
sure-
dry
pick it up.
fit. Yeah,
Clean.
fairly dust.
That's it, yeah.
The Teroson 150,
As you can
again,
see.
a bit, just atomising it onto the panel, nothing too heavy. Too much, you're just wasting and you're not getting any benefit. In fact, you just don't need to apply a heap of it.
As we done earlier, well, little demonstration that we done.
Version it like you did it yourself,
Yep.
Barry. Like you stated, Barry, she's keeping the nozzle in the adhesive as well. Quite critical,
I think it may have been quite warm there, I think, when they were doing that.
but again, less air bubbles.
They've got the nice lolly sticks.
True, rather than a spreader.
Yeah.
But either or, whatever works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Covering over the back. Then spending a ton of over, spending a bit more time on the front. As you said, Joe, she's keeping the nozzle in the adhesive.
Yeah.
Spreading from the inside out. Leaving it high in the middle so that you can sand it down.
Just operates like a body filler then, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Just again. Again, final sand ready for paint.
Okay,
Prime and paint.
give it a clean. Make sure it's all right. And then if it does need a slight skimmer stopper over the top, you can give it a.
Would you use the plastic filler generally or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or a
Something with it.
universal.
something with a bit of flexibility in
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Again, when that bumper's put back in position, there's going to be a lot of flexing, isn't there?
Yeah.
Getting it back in position, you've got to have something that's going to flex, as this adhesive does.
Yes. So that's cured. Sander. I think even Lee would be happy with the finish that got handed through him, do you think?
Not sure, it's hard to please, isn't it?
That's true. So that was that. We're now going to show you the one with the 3090. Just doing a headlamp.
And you will see, Barry, this is in conjunction with the 770 primer.
Yes.
So again, if the surface energy on that plastic is a little bit low, you go with the 770.
Yeah.
You'll see that in use. Again, not always essential.
Yep.
But if it is that silky shiny plastic, and again, she's got a headlamp here. Crikey, what do these things cost? It's down on headlamp, 1,000, 1,500 pounds. If you can get them. So again, she's decided to repair this bracket rather than sit and wait, or
Yep.
send a courtesy car out for 10 days at the cost of the body shop. So again, just abrade that area, clean it, and then she will apply the 770 to that surface edge.
Yep. To both surfaces.
That's right, yeah. So again, just changing that surface energy.
Yeah. Comes along as you did.
And again, you can see, there's not heaps of glue going on here. It's
No.
just a very thin skin along that braid.
It's clear as well, so if there is a little bit of excess,
Yeah.
it doesn't stand out, does it?
And if she wants to tidy that up, you can always abrade it and sand
Yep.
it back as well.
Definitely.
Nice tidy finish.
So that's
Fantastic.
in two down. What about that 3090 that you glued?
Well, here it is, Barry. Now, fingers crossed, but I'm more than confident. Have a go with that. And it's been sat there. I don't want the audience thinking I've done a quick swap over.
Yeah.
That's sat there.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, give it your best.
I've had my porridge, mind.
Give it your best. Yeah. So again, and it's only going to get stronger, as I said.
Yeah.
Throughout this 24 hours, that will only give it strength. And again, now, just one last thing, and
What are you doing with that?
well, we've got to, this is always the crunch test.
Is it that bad?
So the plastic repair that you've done there, Barry, again,
Yeah.
we've got an old piece of bumper here. You can see we've got the repair, the reverse side has got the matting in it.
Yeah.
And then front side, it's just been prepared, it's not been sanded back. But what I'm trying to demonstrate is how strong
Tell you what,
this is.
glad we put our PPE on before we started, and you're going to work with a
Are
hand.
you worried about
I'm
it?
going to start
So
back.
that to me sells it. Now, don't get me wrong, it's put the odd dent in the adhesive.
Oh, look at it.
But more impressively than not, the plastic hasn't fallen out. So on impact,
Yeah.
that plastic stayed exactly where we put it. And again, no rivets, no screws, no metal, just a little bit of nylon gauze, polyurethane adhesive, and that's
The process.
and that's it.
Yeah.
That to me is that sells itself. I'll shift the hammer back.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Fantastic.
any time for any questions? I don't know if we've got any questions, George?
Yeah, so we've got a few here in the chat. We've got, are these products available in a larger pack size?
But as we said, the 9225 and the 9225 SF are available in the 250 ml pack size as well as the 50 ml. The ME is not available in that, or the UF.
Just remember, like Barry said, the faster curing products are actually easier applied through the little 50 mils.
Yeah.
In all honesty, but from a cost-effective point of view, certainly with these, the 9225 SF and the standard 9225, the slower curing, yeah, in the 250 mil.
Yeah.
With
The nozzle.
the nozzle.
Brilliant. We've got, will the ME versions help with the diisocyanate training I have to complete?
George, would that be the deisocyanate training? Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Again, from our point of view, anybody handling these adhesives, that'd be ourselves, warehouse, production, workshop. I think there's I'm not sure what the clearance date is, but we did ours pre-Christmas,
Yeah,
Barry, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had to go online and do a diisocyanates test, if you like, and get signed off. From our point of view, this is so that we can handle these products safely and correctly. Yes, everybody's got to do that is handling these products. And yes, the micro emissions is recognised as being a safe, clean product moving forward.
Brilliant. Can you force dry the adhesive? Is that recommended?
With the 9225, the standard one, if you left it to dry, if air dry, it'd be 30 minutes. But if that's the only product you have, but you need to be a bit quicker, you can use infrared lights on that, and it'll be fully cured and it'll be sanded in 15 minutes.
What we certainly don't recommend, and I have seen people do this in the workshop, what we don't like is people sticking them in a hot sink, boiling water to try and cure the process up, because the bumper might have been really cold. It might have been set out in a yard, in the workshop, outside the workshop. That might be really cold. Then we put the hot plastic into the repair. So you've got two temperatures, and then you're putting it into either hot water or somebody standing over it with a hot air gun. The hot air gun is just going to warp the bumper. So we'd avoid that.
So the answer is yes, you can.
Infrared light. Yeah, infrared.
And then lastly, we've got one in regards to 3090.
Yep.
We've got a question. Can you apply this on top of clear coat, flat and polish, and it will polish up the same as the lacquer?
Yep, I think you mentioned that with Jules mentioned that with fish eyes. So that's like the fish eyes is like in the lacquer, they get a little dot in the lacquer. So you've seen it, I've seen it, Lee's seen it.
Yeah.
Where they just drop a little bit on top of there, let it cure. They'll then sand it back, polish it up. Yep. So
Again,
again,
that's the uniqueness with it being transparent.
the answer
generally-
is yes again.
Generally, a cyanide, they do cloud over, whereas this, with it being transparent, it's perfect, and it's got that gap fill. So that's the solution, definitely.
Brilliant. So I'll join you back on screen shortly. So I'd like to thank Julian and Barry for their time today. But if you've got any further questions, or if you're a bit confused as to whether this solution would work in your body shop or other products we have available, you can actually scan that QR code or click the link in the top of the chat. And in there, you can fill in your details and we'll get in touch with you. And either Barry or Julian or someone from the team will come and visit your body shop. So Loctite Explore. Loctite Explore is our new e-learning platform. So if you're unable to have a visit for any reason, you can find some introductions to Teroson products online. So it's www.loctitex.com. And you can see on screen, we've got a windscreen replacement module. So that's our Teroson bond products. And then we've also got an introduction to bonding and an introduction to collision repair. Now, if you have any technical questions in regards to the products we've shown you today, if you're based in the UK, you can phone the number on screen or send an email there. And if you're based in any of the Nordic countries, you can see the Nordic email on screen. Thank you very much for attending. And once again, thank you very much.